It's time for Dapper Dino!
As of patch 7.14 in League of Legends, Orianna has the highest pick rate in the middle lane with 17.63%, yet her win rate doesn't even reach 50%. The root cause of this, which isn't obvious to most people, is that everybody, yes everybody, apart from me obviously, is building her incorrectly. Everybody just seems to be sheep and follow the standard build of Moral Nemicon, Ludens, Void Staff, Rabadons, all that, like garbage. But really, Orianna, she's much stronger AD attack speed. You probably won't believe me because I'm just this random guy on the internet with like 100 subs just telling you otherwise, but I mean, I think I've got the evidence to prove it. Okay, so first of all, when you pick AD Orianna, you want to take a top lane. I've experimented top and ADC because they're the two roles that make the most sense, but top lane honestly works so much better. I think it's because in top lane you're much more likely to go up against a melee champion where you can abuse the fact that you're ranged, whereas in the bot lane the other ranged marksmen usually outclass you in most cases. But in top lane you can snowball off melee champions and carry the game. One other good thing about picking AD Orianna top lane is that nobody expects it, and having the surprise factor in any situation is good when something's actually good. So first of all, AD Orianna is strong, and if people don't expect it, they will just die over and over again, not knowing how to counter it, what to do at all. And there's plenty of cases where people even like two-man roam, or three-man roam, two-man gank, anything, and I just kill them all because they just don't know what they're doing. They're expecting the ball to be doing the damage when really it's the auto attacks, and in the end they just get wrecked. So the first thing you want to do when you think about taking AD Orianna in the top lane is about your masteries. Most of it, well no, a bit of it is flexible, but most of it you want to keep the same. So every game when you play this you want to take further of battle. I've tried with Storm Raider Surge, but it honestly just isn't as good. I thought it might be good for the kiting, but really you don't need that. You already have the slow and the move speed increase on your W. Further just adds to the damage. It ramps up while you're ramping up your Rage Blade and your passive stacks, and it's just great. Further always. You want to take attack speed on the first tree of Ferocity because your abilities are more for the utility in this build rather than the damage. They don't really do much damage with AD Orianna. One other thing to note is where I've taken Armor Pen on Ferocity, it probably makes more sense to take Magic Pen because Bork does magic damage, your passive does magic damage, Wit's End reduces magic resist, and in the end you're probably going to be dealing more magic damage as AD Orianna. So consider taking that, try both. You still do physical damage with your auto attacks, but I think Magic Pen's better. Try it, tell me how it works. Anyway. And then in Resolve, you could go up Cunning as well, but I think you get enough damage, so that Resolve, being the tanky one, helps a lot more. Most of the Resolve, it's all self-explanatory why you take that, that's the standard, and for ranged characters, marksmen in general. As for runes, you want to take attack speed quintessences, attack damage marks, armor seals, and magic resist glyphs. And finally the build, the most important part. This is what makes use of Orianna's passive. This is why this build is so good. So first of all, every game you want to rush a Bork. Bork is just so good. The percent magic damage on hit that adds to Orianna's passive on hit magic damage gives you a really good lead early, and then because of its lifesteal it helps you sustain in lane. You don't need to buy pots and waste money on that. You've got the attack speed to help you proc your passive, well, to get it off more. Same with your percent damage from Bork. It's just a great item, and you can use it to kite and chase down enemies, whether you're ahead or behind, or, I mean, you're never going to be behind, but Bork is just standard every game first item. And then for boots, usually you buy boots second, usually finish them second. You want to take Berserker Greaves. Depending on the matchup, you might need to take Ninja Tabis, you might need to take Merc Treads. You could take Swiftness Boots, I've not really tried that, but Berserker Greaves if you're ahead, because just getting more attack speed, that's what, by the end of the game you want the attack speed cap. If you get the attack speed cap with like Rage Blade, it's perfect. Speaking of Rage Blade, for third item, you want to take Rage Blade. The reason why that's so good is, first of all, attack speed, obviously. You get on hit damage with the recurve bow. you get AD, which adds to more damage. And then the Blasting Wand AP adds to your passive damage, which makes your attacks have more on-hit damage, which is just a lot of damage, basically, if you just want to say that. Yeah, it's just a lot of damage. And then Rage Blade, when stacked, when it applies on-hit effects twice, that applies her passive twice, as well as Balk, which at this point in the game you'll be doing ridiculous amounts of damage as soon as you've got your 2-item Power Spike, or 3-item Reboots. And after this, your build can switch up a bit depending on the situation of the game. Personally, I like to get a Wit's End next, because that gives you more attack speed. It gives you 40 on hit damage. It also reduces the enemy's magic resist when you attack them, meaning that all the magic damage you're dealing from your other abilities, and well, your other attacks, do even more damage. So all these items work well together with Orianna's passive, and she just is a shredder. She's just a tank shredder. Just any one shredder. After Wit's End, you've got 2 items left, and it's really up to you for these items. I guess I usually go Hurricane, because Hurricane has 10 on hit damage, I think. It also spreads your attacks, which apply on hit effects as well. So once you've got your Rage Blade stacked, just think of it as Orianna is Cogmore. It's just a Cogmore with a different kit of abilities, but you play them exactly the same. You just run around auto-attacking people to death, shredding them with magic damage as an AD carry as such. And it just feels great. And then for the last item, there's a few options here. So you can do Triforce, you could do Frozen Mallet to help you catch up, or Kite even better if that's a problem, but same with Triforce with the Phage. And also Sheen proc is nice, gives you cooldown reduction. It's just a great item in general. You might like to go GA if you need it, but usually you don't need that. And then the other option is Nash's Tooth. I personally haven't ever gone Nash's Tooth, but I can imagine it being a good item. I didn't personally want to go it because I want to get the Balk, Rage Blade, Wit's End, Power Spike, but you could try out Nash's Tooth to see how it goes. It's be a perfectly good item on it. If you do buy Nash's Tooth, I would probably buy it first or second actually. Probably second, because it would give you a lot more pressure in lane with the more on hit damage. Okay, so for abilities, which I didn't mention earlier, you definitely want to max Orianna's E. You want to take it first and max it. It gives you more resistances and a bigger shield, lower cooldown shield for basically just winning trades. Your W is only for the slow, you don't really need to max it. Your Q does no damage, it's just for placing your slow and placing your ult. And then obviously your ult is just for CC. You don't rely on your abilities for damage. They can help with last hitting your Q if you need to, but usually your attacks are fine. And then the main reason why this works is Orianna's passive. So as you can see, Orianna's basic attacks deal bonus magic damage. This stacks twice, so it does even more bonus magic damage. Balk adds bonus magic damage. Wit's End reduces their magic resist. Rage Blade doubles this. If you see how much damage this does, if only I had time to add up all the different numbers from all the different stats, but you can imagine, and you've probably seen throughout the video, how fast you shred people. And then the secret behind this build is, because so many people feel sorry for you, they probably think you're an idiot picking this, and this is why you're losing. Some teams even consider surrendering for you, which is awfully nice of them, and that's why this build is so good. The last quick thing I want to say is thanks for watching, and if you have any recommendations for other off-meta builds to do guides on, or just any other kind of video, just please put it in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.